Well, what can I say? I'm just as surprised as you are. So I rode a lot of bikes in 2017. I did a lot of reviews for a while. I rode a lot of bikes when I was out with different people. I had a lot of new experiences that I wasn't ready for. And I'd known for a little while that I wanted to get rid of the ZX10, so I did. I want to say it took longer than I wanted it to, but it took a lot shorter than I wanted it to, actually. It was like I woke up one day and I was like, what am I waiting for? I can sell this thing. And I bought this in exchange. Again, this kind of comes down to what I really enjoyed most about 2017 and what bikes did I enjoy riding, and I want to kind of change the way I ride a little bit. You know, I mean, it's like I have my sport bike and I have my cruiser, and those provide each their own set of content. So what's the point of having another bike that provides the same exact content? And that's what the ZX10 was doing. It wasn't providing anything different, and it didn't really have a place in my garage, other than to do dank-ass wheelies from time to time. Very sketchy, uncontrolled dank-ass wheelies. But let's cut to the quick. I'm sure a lot of you guys have already skipped ahead and figured out what this bike is, but for those who have stayed around and built up the anticipation like I have it, I appreciate it because I edit these videos in such a way it is meant to be told in the way that I edit them. What? But there's a lot of bikes that I rode in 2017 that had a lot of merit that I really enjoyed, and I'll go over my top 3 favorite bikes that I rode. First of all was the BMW R9T. Out of all the bikes that I've ridden throughout the years, that was one of the most enjoyable motorcycles to just cruise around on and have fun. It wasn't like I needed to go anywhere, didn't need to do anything. It was comfortable, it was fast, and it was interesting. I really enjoyed it. But obviously this isn't a BMW R9T. Second favorite bike that I rode throughout this year, the Harley Davidson V-Rod. That bike was pure utter silliness. It was awesome, and I had so much fun on that. That was really early into the year actually, and that was just a ton of fun, and I absolutely loved it. It was like the power of a sport bike and a cruiser combined with the comfortability of it was just such a strange bike. And I really fell in love with that bike too. I looked at it for a long time. Actually, before I even bought the H2, I looked at that bike for quite some time. But I looked at my garage yet again, and I have a cruiser, and I don't plan on getting rid of the Magna. I just don't have it in my heart to get rid of the Magna. I still plan on rebuilding the tank and switching back to the original drag bars. But I couldn't justify buying the V-Rod because I had my cruiser, and it's not like that cruiser was going anywhere anytime soon. Plus, I feel like if I don't get another cruiser, it'll force me to work on it at one point or another. Not to mention the other build project that'll probably get blown up Jesse James style when I get done with it. And that led me to my third and final favorite bike. And this one was gonna come as a surprise to a lot of you guys. I think a lot of people think they know what's underneath this sheet, but the Suzuki DL1000 was probably the most strange and enjoyable bike that I'd ever ridden. It was tall, but it was comfortable, and it was fast, and it did wheelies, and it kind of covered all the bases of what I like when it comes to motorcyclists. It's like I can go long distances. I wouldn't mind taking a long journey with that bike. I wouldn't mind going across the country with Jake on one of those bikes, which is hopefully in an upcoming video where Jake and I ride across the country, or maybe even bring other people on board. But that being said, I really enjoyed the bike, and it had a lot to offer for this type of stuff that I want to do, because it can do off-road, it can go on-road, it can do long hauls, it has plenty of power, the same engine as the SV1000, and it does the wheelies, which is what I wanted to do. So, if you guessed, and I don't know why you would, but if you guessed the Suzuki DL1000 for my bike, then you were fucking wrong. It's a Suzuki DRZ400. See, a lot of people already knew about this. I talked about it a lot on my streams, which I do from time to time. And a lot of people already knew about it, but I wanted to give people the idea that I was trolling them the whole time. Having a DRZ or any sort of dual sport, and a lot of people are gonna ask why I got a DRZ and not a WR or something like that, and I'll go over that in a later video. And I told a lot of people in the streams that I got a DRZ, and I really wanted to give them the idea that I just trolled the fuck out of them. But having a DRZ on the channel, or any sort of dual sport, was probably one of the most, actually no, I can easily say without a doubt, it was the most requested bike that I've ever been asked to buy on the channel in history. And it's one of those things, like, I don't know why I waited so long to buy one. Mostly because I really enjoyed super sports. Like I said, I've been asked to have one of these bikes for years. And I kind of did wait until I found an appropriate deal, and they had one this is the SM, the 2015 Suzuki DRZ 400 SM, the Supermoto, and I had one at WOW for a killer deal, so I went ahead and snagged it. I sold them my ZX10 and picked this up in exchange. But the ZX10 is for sale up at WOW. If people are interested in it, you guys know it's plenty fast. You know it'll do wheelies. It's been well taken care of. There's no issues with it. But man, I'm stoked about this. It's one of my favorite color DRZs too. There's a couple of them that I really like. This one's my favorite color, the white and gold. So I can finally stop getting people asking me what the new damn bike is. But this bike is 100% stock. So yeah, don't worry, we're gonna go for a ride here in just a second, but I want to say thank you guys for an amazing, I keep saying this, but thank you guys for an amazing 2017. 2017 was awesome. 2018 is gonna be even stupider and bigger and more explosions and guns, and as long as I don't get arrested, but whatever. And before we go for a ride, I just want to mention this. A lot of people seemed excited about this on Instagram. I now have a co-brand with WOW as far as their clothing line. And as you can see, that's my helmet logo. I hope the camera can pick it up, but that's my helmet logo. And this is actually an outline of the H2. And then there's like a bigger logo on the back, which I don't know how to show it to you guys from this angle, and I'm not putting it back on the tripod. And these jackets are really nice and fuzzy. They have we have hats, and you can order them online. You have to email them. There's no like online purchasing store as much as I try to talk them into it, maybe in the future, but we have to like call or email them and then say you want to buy some of the clothing, and then they'll mail it out to you. But like some of the clothes have dickhead and shit on the sleeve, which is really cool. That was my idea. And I haven't even ridden it before this moment. So I'm gonna go put on a jacket and go ride it and shit. So unbelievably cold. Woohoo! God damn, it's cold. I am so unbelievably cold right now. Holy crap. Right now, I think it's like a cool 30 degrees. It's freezing right now. And I've been wanting to make a video on this damn bike since I got it. I've had it now for like almost a week and I haven't even ridden it. God, I've wanted a DRZ forever. This bike is gonna be tons of fun. Right now, it's completely stock. I'm gonna have to get used to it and figure out how to do the wheelies and stuff on it. But the whole reason I bought this bike is so I can learn how to get better at wheelies and have fun and do off-road, or maybe do some off-road shit, I don't know. I had tons of fun with it. It'd be a nice bike to fuck around on. I can't, I don't know, I'll figure this thing out. Right now this bike's 100% stock levers. I think the only thing is these kind of stupid grips. Like flamey looking grips, I don't know. But I plan on doing some stuff with it. I plan on building it up a little bit and having fun with this bike. And I rode Jake's out in Texas, or Jake's brother, sorry. He had a DRZ 400 and I was like, dude, that's all I want. That's all I need. I've wanted one ever since. I mean, it's cool having the ZX10 and all, but I needed something that was just like a little bit more dick around-ish. This thing is still fast as hell though. Surprisingly fast for a little 400cc enduro dual sport. I don't know what work I need to do to this thing. I think from what I understand, Jake says to do a bigger carb kit in it and some other jazz. They make like pretty much like a bigger carb that jumps the power up from like I think 35 to 40 something. But I'll do the brake levers and some bar end mirrors and some shit. I don't have a whole lot of balls. Jake's brother certainly had a lot more oomph to it. It's not going to be something I'm going to learn how to do overnight either. There we go. I had to really sit back on that seat. It's a little uncomfortable, but... Fucking holding on to that seat, dude. I'm slipping off. This seat's fucky. Oh, yeah, that's what I want. This thing just goes right back. I'll get there. A little bit of practice. It's not the same as a sport bike where all that power is there all the time, you know? With that ZX10, it's just like nothing but pure power. This is, you have to be a lot more controlled. Woo-wee, my fingers are falling off already. Jeez, a lot of people are gonna be complaining about how I'm complaining about how cold it is. I remember, I'm from the South, dude. I'm like literally slipping off the back seat when I lean back. I gotta get a grip of your seat. This seat is so slippery. Can you get this thing up in third? Maybe a little bit. It's like finding a good spot on this seat without falling off if it's hard. Keep my arms back is kind of like the key, right? With a ZX10, you can just fucking power wheelie into it, you know? We're seeing power wheeling first. It will. 25 miles an hour.
Not a bad location for you to do it is at 25. That's like a decent speed. Alright, I'm gonna make a turn. I'm gonna go grab some food because I'm hungry. The seat's gotta be the first thing, dude. I'm like literally slipping off this fucker. I like these mirrors. They're kind of fucking gay. I've been wanting to do supermoto so bad, dude. There's a lot of stuff I have to get used to with this thing. That felt really good. I was really comfortable with Jake's brother's build. This is obviously a completely new world for me. I've never been into supermotos. As a matter of fact, I've only really ridden a supermoto one solid time, and I absolutely loved it. And I'm so happy to be on this thing. I don't like that. I don't like that wobble. I need to, maybe I'll put a stabilizer or some shit on here. I don't know. I want to get better at wheelies though. It's like my favorite thing to do. I wish I could just do wheelies at a slightly higher speed, like 30-ish miles an hour. I think I'd be a little bit better at that. But I'm sure that comes with practice and work and mods here and there. Yes! That was the best wheelie I've ever done. I also need to be a little careful on this front wheel. I just put a new attack on there. I usually run the Continental attacks. They're pretty sticky. I like them a lot. Is Salt and Pepper open? It is. I'm gonna park my shit right hither. Oh, yeah, dude. What a fucking solid-ass bike. I'm happy with this thing. It's chillier than a motherfucker. I stopped by this place called Salt and Pepper here. It's not too far from where I live, about 10 miles or so. It was recommended by my roommate. I guess he stops here all the time after work and whatnot. It's delicious. I gotta say, dude, one of my favorite meals in a go-to restaurant is a steak sandwich, and he's like, hey, have you tried the steak sandwich? And I was like, I've never been here. I will have a steak sandwich. But it's cool because we're sitting there talking. He's like, he saw the GoPro on the helmet. He's like, oh, do you just record and keep the videos to yourself? I was like, no, I do YouTube and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, cool. I watched this one vlogger called Walterific. And I was like, hey, Walter, he's my boy. I was like, yeah, Walter and I go way back. Walter and I have been YouTubing for about the same time now. And him and I are good friends. He's like, no way. He didn't know about my channel, but he had seen the video with Walter where I get pulled over and I get 3 warnings when I was taking him back to the airport. And he's like, oh yeah, that video. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what's your channel? I was like, oh, let's do it, Dan. You know, check it out if you get bored. I do the YouTube things as well. But I tried to call Walter and get him on the phone, but Walter, I guess, was busy, you know, not supporting his fans. Hear that, Walter? You dick. I just want you to put on the phone with him and talk to him. God damn. You guys see that Camaro? 69 Camaro?